Hello everybody, I'm Michael, and today I'm going to be talking about some news that we just got in the This Week at Bungie, which was published yesterday, the 27th of June on 2019, regarding the chest farming glitch, or cheese, or whatever you want to call it, within the Menagerie. So here is the section in the This Week at Bungie. It's just called Chest Runs. I'll just read it out now in case you guys can't see it. I'm not sure how this screen capture will work on their website. When Season of Opulence began, we watched as players quickly discovered a bug in how the Menagerie's final chest granted rewards. Players began to race out of the area and then back to the chest as fast as they could to get as many rewards as possible before sent back to orbit. It felt reminiscent of when players were farming treasure keys from chests on their sparrows leading up to House of Wolves. Consider this an error in your favor. We haven't rushed to fix it, but when we patch on July 9th, this loophole will officially close, allowing only one opening of the chest per completion. Until then, we invite you to take advantage of this all you like and grow fat with strength. So, they talked about the treasure farming method with the House of Wolves within D1, and I definitely mentioned this in one of my earlier videos talking about how to use this method, but I guess now I'm just kind of going to get on to some of the discussion and what I think this means for the future of Menagerie as well as kind of bugs within the game. On screen now, you are just seeing me doing this chest farming method. This is the 4th week of the Menagerie, so it is the first boss. Once again, we've cycled through all 3, and we are back to Hospico, the giant kind of Minotaur guy with the big walls. So anyway, I'm just going to kind of point out the biggest thing that I see here is that whenever you beat the mission, you get almost 4 minutes of time to just do whatever you want, and I don't really understand what that time is for if it wasn't meant for the chest farming method, because that's always just been the weirdest thing to me, because after you get the first 1 or 2 collectibles that you can get within the area, there's nothing else to do. So I don't get why they give you 4 minutes just to kind of run around and do whatever you want. I understand that it's a really cool space and that it's kind of intricate, and that I'm sure they put a lot of work into designing this, and I definitely think it looks great. It's one of the coolest looking spaces in all of Destiny, but the fact that you get 4 minutes to just kind of do whatever you want really makes me think that they kind of meant for this to be happening, and it's just really weird to me that they're fixing it. Second, I'm going to talk about just Menagerie kind of overall play rate. I think right now we are going to see a huge spike in Menagerie play up until July 9th, but once we hit July 9th, I expect that kind of trend of going up with play just to drop to almost no play at all, because I think most people that are trying to get roles right now are either going to get the roles within this week, or just get something that they're considering good enough, and I think that a lot of people are just going to settle for mediocre on weapon rolls or armor, or trying to get whatever they're wanting out of that chest, which really makes me sad, because I thought the Menagerie is one of the coolest events that they've ever added. You can pick whatever masterwork you want, you can pick your armor resistance for damage, you can pick your piece, you can pick whatever you want. There's a whole table, there's probably hundreds of spreadsheets out there that all have the information about what you can put into each slot in your chalice so that you can get whatever reward you're looking for. And I think if you only get 1 chest per event, this is really going to limit that kind of farmability, which I think is a huge problem, because I think Destiny is really lacking on a consistent way to get good rolls on weapons. Within Destiny 1, we had the ability to re-roll some weapons within the gunsmith, and I really liked that. I thought that was a good way that you could spend some materials and you could get a weapon maybe that's better than yours, but you always have the risk of kind of getting rid of the roll you have now. I guess within the Menagerie, you don't have the risk of getting rid of the one you have now because you just get another weapon, but I think that this is a great farming method because it allows you to get weapons that you want, and you can kind of play around whatever playstyle you like. There isn't just one good roll. It's not like within some of the raid weapons where the curated roll is by far the best and all the other ones are just kind of garbage. I really think that you can kind of choose your playstyle with all these perks and whatever you're trying to get out of that chest. But if you're only being able to get it once per game, then that means you're going to have to play a lot of Menagerie to just kind of get anything that you want, and it probably won't be worth it because it's a fairly big time investment if you're only getting 1 chest per run. Because a run takes, if you're doing it perfectly, which by now most people can get a flawless run of it, it's fairly easy just because most people are about 750 light, and this activity is definitely a lot lower than that. so it allows you to kind of run through it pretty quickly. But it still takes about 8 minutes, even if you get a flawless run, depending on what events you get. Some take longer than others. But it'll take you 8 to 10 minutes to finish this event, and you're only getting rewarded with 1 drop, or possibly 2 if you have your upgraded chalice. And I really dislike this, because you're not being rewarded for your playtime. Because within strikes, you don't get super rewards, but you can also get the tokens at the end that can give you more rewards. You have a chance at strike-specific loot if you're farming nightfalls. But now within the Menagerie, you can only get 1 drop, and after kind of 8 to 10 minutes. And I guess Menagerie is significantly more, I'm going to say, involved than normal strikes or anything like that, than heroic story missions, because there actually are mechanics. Each of these 7 events has its own individual mechanic that makes it different and just kind of adds a decent amount of difficulty. It's not that the enemies are more difficult, it's just that you actually kind of have to be paying attention. You could load into strikes and just be watching your phone or watching Netflix or something and just not be paying attention to the strike, and you can still beat a strike in probably 10 minutes or something. But within Menagerie, you have to do some mechanics, or at least 2 mechanics, and then the boss fight, so I guess that's a third if you get a flawless run. And I really just think it's weird that they're doing this, because you're not being rewarded for having to do some more difficult mechanics than normal strikes. And I guess on to my final point, is I think that the runes are not at all balanced the way that they are now for 1 chest. You get, if you all have rune finders on and you're in a group of maybe even 2 or 3, there's a possibility of getting 2 or 3 runes per activity you complete, whether that be crucible, strikes, gambit, or even just kind of running around doing anything. You'll get some runes. And I think if runes were more rare, I could definitely understand why they're only kind of limiting this so that rewards might seem a little more rare or kind of treasured or sought after. But since you're getting 3 to 4 runes every activity you complete, I just don't think that the runes are very important or seem very kind of useful, other than just trying to farm for chests. And since they're taking that out, we're just kind of having the issue of, you're going to just be stocking up on all these runes, you're probably going to get hundreds of them, and then you're going to stop playing Menagerie, because there's really no point to do it anymore, because there's no chest farming, and you can only get 1 roll per weapon. Overall, I think this is just a huge misstep on Bungie's part. I really do not like this. I guess I kind of understand why they're doing it, because they don't want people to get amazing rolls and just kind of have overpowered weapons. But I really don't think any of these weapons are super overpowered. I think they're all strong, but I think any weapon Destiny 2 could be strong as long as you have a good roll on it. And I really like the ability to get good rolls, and Menagerie just allows the fastest and most efficient way. But come July 9th, I assume that we're going to probably find something else. And I completely expect Menagerie play to just drop to almost 0, because there's very little point to do it anymore, because you're only getting that 1 drop. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as comment any questions or anything you may have down below, or how you feel about this new chest being patched, and I'll see you later.